because did something happen with the Wizards? Oh yeah, John Wall got traded.
Oh, darn.
That guy? That John
Finally
Wall?
happened. Oh, I
What
didn't
am
know.
I going to do
Oh,
with that? Damn
sell
it.
it. No, don't sell it.
Selling it.
Doesn't it have his autograph on it? Isn't that signed?
That's a ticket from his second year in the league. He was nice enough to sign that ticket for me, so I appreciate him for that. I was just a sophomore boy in high school, just looking for a mentor and an idol, and John Wall was there
Well,
for me.
we won't get into it too bad. I think we're going to try to get somebody on possibly that can talk both Washington football and Washington Wizards because this is a big deal. I mean, Russell Westbrook is a Wizard, and it's just weird. It's just weird. I can't. I watched John Wall last night with the Rockets. I was like, oh, that was like my not closure, but it's like, oh, he's not a Wizard anymore. And Russell Westbrook's not even playing in the first preseason game, so we have to wait to watch him play. But yep, that news was broke to me by my coworkers in Slack. I wasn't paying attention to my phone. I was just working, and all of a sudden I get desktop notification, so it comes across the top right of my screen, and it's I see the Twitter link that says Woj, and I'm like, oh, somebody's dropping a Woj bomb. And I click on it, and the first name I read is John Wall. I was like, oh, that's a real tweet. And at first I was like a first rounder, but now it's a heavily protected first rounder, so it's essentially a player for player swap. I'm gonna let Joe talk about it first.
I like it. I like Russ. You know I've liked Russ.
See, we're opposite
Basically,
there. I
his whole
hate his
career.
game.
Yeah, no, I like his game because he's like an energy. Regardless of the on the court stuff, the reality is Russ brings a locker room together better than John Wall does, and that's just my observations.
I agree with
I've been
that.
following the Wizards for my whole life, so it's like, okay, we've had 2 point guards the last 20 years that are highly respected around the league for their play on the court, but when it comes to a locker room, I'd probably rather have Russell Westbrook than John Wall, Gilbert Arenas, name another guy, even Michael Jordan. I'd rather have Russ in my locker room than those guys. So I really like what they're doing. And then, with all the young guys and the young guys that Russ has played with in his career, I just think it's a really good combination of talent and personalities, and even the fact that everybody's from different countries. I really like the feel of this team moving forward. I think they all like each other.
I agree. I think Russell Westbrook, and again, like I just started my Wizards fandom, so I'm very new to this whole train.
Yeah.
I'm like all aboard the Russell Westbrook train. I think he's fun. I like to follow him. He sings. This is the kind of energy that I want around a team that
I did get that feel. I was like, this is a Savannah player.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, why did people not want him? My whole critique of John Wall was that he was playing spades during an interview. I was like, disrespectful. He tells people that everyone's too buddy. That's rude. And then Russell Westbrook comes in. He's like, who wants to dance? Who wants to sing? Wants to take pictures? I'm like, my Wizards prayers have been answered. I should have joined this team fam a long time ago. Because apparently what I asked.
Yeah, no, you'd be. Yeah, no, and that's not to take anything away from John, though. I mean, John did a lot for the
Great
city.
guy, hard worker, nice
And
player.
we have to listen. This is the LeBron rule, okay? Anytime you do philanthropy and stuff, you have to announce it, and you have to tell everybody that person does it. So we get the LeBron rule out of the way. But other than that, I mean, Russell's probably a better fit moving forward. So I'm on board with you there.
So I'll say this: he will win you games. I think him and Brad alone will be able to get them to the playoffs because I think he is you don't know what John Wall will be. People were freaking about John Wall's performance last night. He played really, really well in limited minutes, but also James Harden was not playing, and we don't know how those two are going to play together. Also, James Harden might be traded because he's going to Lil Baby's birthday party, maskless. Did you see the gift he got Lil Baby? Side note, he gave him 100 G's in cash and then like a super expensive, I think, chain. Yeah. And I was like, what? Let me get friends that just give me a duffel bag of cash.
You got to get guys that make
Where are those
$40 million
friends
a year to do that.
Anyway, so I've never liked Russell Westbrook's game because he always jacks up bad shots. Like, for example, with Kevin Durant, who's the best scorer I think I've ever seen play, he wouldn't give him the ball when he needed to give him the ball, and Russell Westbrook would take him by himself, take bad shots, and I've just never – I think he's a stat patter.
We could go back and forth all
Yeah,
day on this, huh?
but my point is this: I didn't think he was a good basketball fit with Bradley Beal. I think he doesn't have near the court vision John Wall does. But I'll say this might work for another reason that's not discussed because Russell Westbrook didn't get along with Kevin Durant for multiple reasons. But one of the things was their off-court personalities. Russell Westbrook is as crazy as he as on the court. He is a low-key family dude, like just wants to chill off the court. That's what I've like heard, and you can kind of see it on Instagram. He's like he loves his family. He's a family guy. Kevin Durant apparently was kind of not that. I mean, he doesn't have a family. Apparently, I've heard stories about him, flying in Instagram models and going out in the club life, that kind of stuff. They probably didn't mesh on the court because of what that happened, and then off the court, they probably didn't hang out. John Wall was similar to KD. He kind of likes the club life and going out and having fun. Now he has 2 kids now, but it really hasn't stopped him.
Yeah.
From having some fun. And Bradley Beal is a low-key, chill family guy. I think Bradley Beal and Russell Westbrook off the court will mesh, and I think that will ultimately possibly help them on the court be able to figure out their differences when Bradley Beal is like wide open and Russell Westbrook decides to take a shot like 5 seconds into the shot clock. Like that's going to happen. Yeah. I think Bradley Beal is a more mature player to deal with it, hopefully. So that's why I think it might work. The other thing I wanted to say was I discounted or underestimated Russell Westbrook's like star power, and what I mean by that is I never pegged him as one that had like a horde of a following. That's the wrong word, not horde. Like he has one of those like, hey, wherever he goes, his fans go. I never really pegged him as that because I guess he's been in OKC so long. But when he got traded, the video of him practicing first on YouTube. These YouTube videos, if you go look at the Washington Wizards YouTube page, all these videos are like 2,000 views, 5,000 views, 2,000 views. Russell Westbrook's first day of practice, 1.4 million views to watch him run around a couple seconds.
That's what he does.
I had 1,200 comments, and like the top comment was, "Oh, we're all Russell Westbrook stands now with the Wizards." I was like, "This is crazy." The Wizards gained like a whole following based on just that.
We wanted that though from guys like Brad and John. We never got that.
And also Bradley Beal. I actually commented this from the DC account on Twitter under Bleacher Report because they keep posting Russ content, and I just go. I think I said Russ is getting the Wizards more national attention in the last 3 days than they've gotten the last 3 years. And it got like 70 likes on Twitter. I guess I got in there early enough for a top comment, but it's true. I've never seen this much attention around. And like John Wall kind of was getting it with the Rockets. They were like, oh, John Wall and his new threads. Because him and Boogie Cousins both coming back from injury. They got some love last night. But man, it's crazy. It's weird. The Wizards have national attention now, even though they have 0 national TV games, but that happened.
And I'm happy, by the way, that it's, sorry to cut you off, I'm happy it's positive attention, like positive energy, positive attention. This team's in need of that. And I'm also thankful that we don't have like a super dramatic point guard like Kyrie Irving on our team because, oh my God. Did you guys hear what he said the other day?
Well, I know he's not talking to the media.
He said, right, he called them pawns. He said, I don't talk to pawns. That's what he called the media. And he put out 3 statements saying how he's not going to talk to the media this season. But the last one was even NBA players are calling him pretty disrespectful for that. I mean, God, I'm happy he's not my player. That's all I'm saying. He's just, and him and Kevin Durant, back to your point with Russ and Kevin, I think Kevin likes to hang out with guys like Kyrie Irving who just come up with excuses to not do things the right way. And it's really annoying. But I'm very pleased that we got a guy with the character of Russell Westbrook on our team.
No, and there's again, he is a good dude. I mean, I didn't really follow him as like a person because obviously he didn't play on the Washington. Like I didn't really like know him as a person. I know him as this crazy on court guy who takes bad shots and can shoot you out of games. Like that's how I viewed him. Who is still ultra athletic. There's a funny meme somebody made because Denny Avdia, who seems very like he wants to learn
so far.
What are you talking about?
I love him so far.
There's that video of him and Brad talking when Brad was mic'd up, which is just content I love to see. Inject that into my veins, as they say. But there's this photo of Denny talking to Russ. You see it? And the meme is Russ starts to talk. He goes, "What position you play?" Teammate goes, "Shooting guard," even though that's not right. But Russ goes, "Cool. Ain't nobody shooting the ball but me and Brad, so you should find something else to do."
It's true. I'll be curious to see how many shots they put up together. I mean, it'll be a fun season. I'm excited. If there was a way to get season tickets, we would probably have those by now, right? Mike?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. I think they're gonna make the playoffs. I'm wondering still who's gonna start the three because people keep saying, like Chris Miller said that it's gonna be Denny, or he thinks it's gonna be Denny, and I hear Chase Hughes on the radio. Shoot, if we can get Chase Hughes on, I'll argue with this. Like he keeps putting out the bad numbers of Denny shooting, and I'm like, no, mention that he shot 35% on more attempts. He's on the radio twice now. Chase, if you're listening, you keep saying 27%. That was with limited number of attempts. He shot 35%. I'm just saying, people are overblown his shooting.
Shout out to Chase, Quentin Mayo, and Chris Miller though. They're killing it in these pressers. Again, people what they need to hear, and we appreciate you. So thank you so much.
But with that said, I love you, Chase, and yeah, we'll probably try to have you on. But to dispel that myth. Also, speaking of his shooting, I think Rui told people his shooting reminds them of Davis Bertans, and I was like, let's pump that.
Pump the brakes.
If he shoots like Davis Bertans, then like we probably got the best player in the draft.
And to quick touch on a couple more things with the Wizards before we move on. I really like what Tommy Shepard did with this whole Rui Denny thing because, it looks like Rui's more of like a 4-3, like power forward, small forward type of hybrid. And then Denny's more of like a 3-4, so small forward, power forward hybrid. And I think just having those two guys compete, it just brings the energy up on the team. And I really do like what they're doing there. I mean, I don't know what you feel about that, Mike, but having that open competition, it's
I
really
like
cool
it.
having like all these young guys.
I think Denny should start
the same thing.
Because when people I think put too much stock into starting, it's like you could start the game, but you may not finish the game. Like it's not like you start the game, that means you're going to finish. No, like you might start the game, get 15, 20 minutes, and the guy coming off the bench gets 21 to 25 minutes. Like that's how sometimes it works. So I think Denny could start because he's a guy who can maybe hit the spot up three, also can play make. He's very smart, moves without the ball, and guys like Russ and Brad will find him. And then Troy Brown could come off the bench with like Davis Bertans and stuff like that. And that unit, I feel like, Scott Brooks has his hands full with how he does that. But